Hey, what's going on, guys? Destructinator here, and today we're back with yet another gameplay. This time you have an absolutely insane Ameli double KEM strike on the map Siege from one of the newest members to AMP COD Pro. He's actually a French player, as you guys can clearly see, and he is gonna be another member, I believe, of AMP France, which is a brand new division to AMP Clans. So definitely go subscribe to him if you enjoyed the gameplay. He's an absolute beast. And this gameplay, guys, just for a sec, a freaking Ameli double KEM strike. The Ameli is the worst LMG by far. I've used it myself. I have yet to get a KEM strike. It is really bad. On top of that, Siege is probably the worst map in the game. You know, a lot of people say Stonehaven is, but at least on Stonehaven you can snipe. On this map, like, look at all that big area of the map at the back of C. Why is it even there? A lot of the maps in this game would be a lot better if they just kind of cut out certain sections of it. Like, there's a lot of extra space, especially for 6v6. So as such, these KEM strikes were pretty long. They were probably about 5 minutes each, I'd say. So I did cut them down a little bit. Hopefully you guys don't mind. You guys get the most entertaining part. Either way, let's get right into the commentary topic, and it has to do with the fact that this is from a French player, basically. So what's really interesting kind of about our world today and that kind of thing is that we're so interconnected, and everyone can do everything thanks to the internet and technology and stuff. Because, you know, however many years ago, or at least even just a couple years ago on YouTube, you hardly ever saw, or at least I know I didn't see any French players, German players, Spanish players. You know, you just don't really see that much from them, just because either, you know, maybe they're not prevalent in the American game community. I don't know. I mean, it makes sense, but I just never really heard that much. You know, every now and then someone would get some insane gameplay and it'd be cool to watch. But now we have like actual like channels that are just huge pub stomping channels, like, you know, AMP France and AMP Germany as well. They're just for those countries because there's so many good players from those countries, as well as people who can record their own gameplay, especially since Ghost has no theater mode. So it's really incredible if you think about it. You know, there's all these people who were here before and maybe they couldn't get their gameplay out or whatever, but thanks to the internet and technology, gets the first KEM right there, thanks to all this stuff, they can do that now. And it's just really insane to think about it. We take technology way too much for granted in our society, just because a lot of us were born into it. You know, I was born right at the end of the 20th century, 1998, and so I still remember from my early childhood having like a Game Boy and playing Pokemon, and that was like the coolest thing ever. And I remember basically having all these like older toys, you know, all those kind of funny pictures where it's like you remember these if you were a 90s kid or something. So I still remember some of those because I was a 90s kid, and it's crazy to think, you know, now there's, you know, kids who are younger than me. Like, I didn't get my first cell phone probably until I was like 13 or 14, and, you know, now kids are like freaking 9 years old and they're getting cell phones. So it's just really crazy if you think about it. Let me know how old you guys are, and if you remember the good old days where, you know, technology wasn't such like a huge factor in our society. And I mean, it's not a bad thing. It's actually really good, you know, letting as far as from gameplays to just like, it just helps everyone with everything pretty much, like, you know, science and medicine, and it just connects people around the world. And it's really great to think that a lot of my friends, who I consider my really good friends, you know, we play Call of Duty together. You know, I met them over PlayStation, and now, you know, we hang out a lot. And I've actually gone and met some of the friends that I've made playing because I was, you know, there for over summer. Actually, I went to California and met some friends that I had played with because I was at a camp, and I was like, hey, I'm in California, let's meet up. And it was really fun because, you know, we had a lot in common. We'd always talk and we always play. So I just think it's really incredible. Let me know if you guys agree with me. I mean, I don't know, maybe you don't agree with me. Maybe you think technology is the worst thing to have on a planet Earth. But either way, the gameplay is just about wrapping up. Like I said before, double Ameli KEM strike by AMP COD Pro. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. My name is Destructinator, and I'm out. Peace.
Let me see you put 'em up. Reach the skies, touch the stars up above. Cause it's one time for the underdog. One time for the underdog. You got the world on your team. even if that ain't what it seems. It's one time for the underdog, one time for
a young nigga with $1 and a dream, and these Nikes on my feet, trying to stay about the streets. So I'm rhyming, pulling 187s all on these beats, instead of on the concrete, submitting my future while they were focused on what they cheap. But shit, I'm like a chief head honcho, tell me